Good evening and welcome to the Bellefleur Tire Shop Grand Falls Greenfoot Rapids pregame show. It's the last game before the holidays here on Saturday night, and it's number 1 versus number 2. Chaleur is in town to face off against the Grand Falls Rapids, who are coming off of a 5-0 win against the Campbellton Tigers last night. There's so much to talk about in this episode, including that win last night. So, you know what? We're going to start off with the tail of the tape first. So, without further ado, you know how much I love my stats. So, the Grand Falls Rapids going into this game with a 7-12, 4-0 record, second amongst Eastlink North Division teams. Cohen Miller and Nathan Plemondon-Michaud leading the way in goals with 18. Jonah Leard with 28 assists and leading the Rapids in overall points with 40. The Chaleur Lightning, on the other hand, only one more win than the Grand Falls Rapids have, 18, 10, 2-1 on the season. Ben Cross leading the way in goals with 21. Jack Hain in assists with 22. And Ben Cross overall in points with 38. So, since the last time that these two teams met, a little bit of a change in terms of the stats, and you'll see that here in just a moment. Their goals for 127 for Grand Falls, 122 for Chaleur. So the Rapids have only outscored them by 5 goals. And then their goals against is even closer. The Rapids have 115, and the Lightning have 113. So they've allowed 2 goals less. So it's close in that sense, but it's also close in their goals against. That'll play a factor later on when we talk about that as well as the episode goes on. But this is where you're going to start to notice things change a little bit. So we're going to start off with the power play, and the Rapids obviously falling now from the first place spot in the Eastlink North Division on the power play. Anyway, they're ranked second with 19.4%. The Lightning, on the other hand, are sitting in 4th place, which once upon a time, they did actually have the first ranked power play in the Eastlink North. They've now fallen to 4th at 16.2%. And then the penalty kill stats, Chaleur sitting in 5th place with 77.2% on the penalty kill, and Grand Falls sitting in 3rd with 81.2% on the penalty kill. So, storylines for this game. This is as tense as they get. And I've been saying this all year long. If ever there's a game to go to, this would be the one, because it's going to be fierce, it's going to be awesome, and it's going to be action-packed. It's 1 versus 2. Chaleur right now in the standings is sitting at in first place, but only by 1 point. Grand Falls won last night, but Chaleur also won. We'll talk about the standings battle here to start things off. So first off, I mentioned that obviously there's that 1 point gap. Chaleur is coming off of a shootout win against the West Kent Steamers last night. Obviously a very close game. The Steamers were leading most of the game up until about the 3rd period, when Chaleur would come and tie it up, and then they would win in a shootout. But then on the other side of that, in Campbellton, the Rapids shut out the Tigers 5-0. And this was a real complete game from them, something that was just real exciting to see. They kept it clean, they kept it disciplined, they were all in it for each other, and that's something that we were starting to see leading up to this point, but we saw that in full effect last night. It was just amazing and super refreshing to see. So in that game, for those who did take the bus trip, that would be our billet families and some of the fans who attended on the game through the bus trip. That was such a fun trip, and I would love to go again. For all of you who came on the bus, thank you. It was such a great time, and I think that we pretty much out-cheered them in their own barn, so there's something to be said for that too. But it was a fun night for the boys. It was a fun night for the fans. It was just a great night overall for hockey in Grand Falls. Via Campbellton, I should say. So that was a big win for the Rapids on away ice. Historically, this season, they've struggled a little bit on the road, and they're starting to get it back a little bit, but this is going to be a real important game. Because when we come back, obviously, it's going to be the 3rd of January is going to be when the first game is. So this is the last game of the 2025 calendar year. And there's a lot that we can look back on and just say, hey, this has been a heck of a year. Whether it was the draft, whether it was the hot start to the season and the continuous success that this team has had so far, or, the players who have come through the organization, who have played in the Rapids jersey through the course of the year. It's just been an amazing year, and it's just something that I will never forget and something that you will never forget, I'm sure, as well. It's just been a great, great year. So with that, let's talk about the game. It's the last game of the calendar year. It's against Chaleur. What does this mean? This is going to be a game that's tense, that's, I would think, very physical, and that both sides are going to want to win because that narrow gap, everybody's trying to fight to get into first place. Or these two teams are going to fight to try and get into first place by the end of tonight, so that they have that little bit of ground going into, or coming back from the holiday break, that I should say. There's a 2-week break. Obviously, as we see, they don't play over Christmas, and they won't be back until the new year as well. So every little bit matters, right? And with the standings as close as they are, it's not just in first place that separates them by a point. You're looking at the West Kent Steamers, Campbellton Tigers, and Edmonton Blizzard, who are all relatively close as well. Edmonton sitting with 33 points in fifth place, Campbellton in fourth, with 34, and West Kent with 36. So there is a 5-point gap from second to fifth, a 6-point gap from first to fifth. And I got to say, it's getting tight. Very, very tight. This game is probably going to be, if not the game of the year, definitely a contender for game of the year. I can tell you that with utmost certainty. Because, again, both teams are going to want to win. I think I just saw Roger Shannon pull up. Both teams are going to want to win this game, and that's no question at all. They 100% are going to battle to get this game going on their side. Keys to the game. Let's jump into that, because this is going to be a real important one, especially for the Rapids. Starting on time. In Campbellton last night, they played solid defense. They had a great offense. Declan Kennedy got the opening goal of the game in Campbellton 9 minutes into the game, and that was just perfect. They went up by 1, and they didn't stop there. They just kept chipping away, hammering away, and playing their game, which was something that they have to do in this one. So start on time, get that first goal on the board. I would expect that Adam LaCour is going to get the start again for them this evening. He played solid last night and was, I think, back to his old ways, as we're usually used to seeing him. So I would think that a solid goaltending performance from him. And then overall, the special teams. They were 2 for 7 last night on the power play. There were obviously a lot of penalties in that game. If you were there, you know what I'm talking about. If you were not there, you probably saw it on TV. There were a lot of penalties in that game, a lot of opportunities for the Rapids to get on the board. They scored 2 power play goals, but again, they were 2 for 7. So if they, especially against a Chaleur team who's a little bit weaker on the penalty kill, you want to take advantage of those penalties being taken and make sure that your man advantage unit is getting those high danger scoring chances that you need to get in order to make sure that you're being more effective on special teams. So the 3 keys to the game, obviously scoring that first goal, solid goaltending performance, and the power play. Because like I said, and like we've been saying all season long, their power play started to get better. But again, you just got to crispen it up a little bit, and it's going to go a long way for you, especially against a team that's been struggling on the PK like the Lightning have. So with that said, we're getting into the point of the show where I'm sure a lot of you have already put in your votes, but I noticed that there's not quite a whole lot yet. So this is going to be for the final Rapids Heat Index of the 2025 calendar year. So with that said, I am going to give you an opportunity here because we're going to extend it a little bit. I am going to put the QR code on the screen right now. You'll be able to scan that, and when you scan that, it'll take you directly to the link where you can submit your vote for the Rapids Heat Index Player of the Week. And this will be revealed on when we come back, that first game, when we come back. The fan vote, you have lots of time to do it, but make sure that you're getting your votes in because this will not last forever. And there's already a good chunk of people who have started to make some votes. So keep it going. We're going to reveal the first Heat Index player of the week of the 2026 portion of the season when we come back. But make sure that you are hitting that vote or hitting that QR code so you can go and vote for your Heat Index player of the week. I almost said player of the year. We're not quite to that point yet. So, final thoughts. 2025 has been a great year. Obviously, a huge year for a lot of people. The organization obviously got a brand new look. I held the draft in 2025. I moved into a new role myself doing play-by-play upstairs in the Flow Sports booth. And obviously you've seen a lot of players come in to the organization and really make a difference. So 2025, when you look back on it, has just been a fantastic year for this organization and is the start of something really, really great. Now, I want to end this episode off by asking you, of the 2025 calendar year, what was your favorite moment in the Rapids season? I'm going to leave you off that question, but again, tonight is also whiteout night. I am going to be going into throwback mode with this one here, but make sure you're wearing your white jerseys. If you're at the game, put on your white. This is the night. The last time the Rapids will be wearing white this season, and then it's green from here on out. If you haven't already done so, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell notification for all future content coming to the channel, and we will be back here in the lobby after the game with a Grand Falls Greenfoot Rapids Bellefleur Tire Shop post-game show.